Tonight, a Local 15 News exclusive investigation is getting results. We went undercover to expose an organized, highly profitable cockfighting ring here in Mobile County. And now our work has gotten the attention of the FBI. Local 15's Andrea Ramey shows us this savage sport and explains how she helped shut it down in tonight's reality check.
It's an operation we've had our eye on for years, and we were there when federal agents busted down the doors, shutting down this brutal sport.
And they basically get stabbed so many times till one dies and then it's declared the winner.
All the while, hundreds of people cheer and bet on this brutal blood sport called cockfighting.
Once the two birds enter the arena, it's deafening in there. People hollering, I got 50 over here or 100 over here.
Armed with sharp steel blades, the roosters are shot up with drugs and fight to their deaths. Handlers will even suck the blood out of a bird's beak to keep it from choking to death.
It's whatever it takes to keep them fighting.
We first exposed this organized illegal cockfighting operation south of Citronelle in 2011. Now, we're getting results. After Local 15 News supplied this year's fighting schedule and an informant to the FBI. Friday, we had exclusive access as agents raided the operation and collected evidence.
This is an elaborate operation.
Chris Schindler with the Humane Society of the United States.
This is the main pit. Each fight starts in this pit.
This pit has been on the group's radar for years.
This is how they're keeping track of all the entries. These are short knife, long knife, and then like this person right here, they won all six. They won the six-cock derby.
A tremendous amount of cash flowed through this operation. At the last fight, there were 115 entries. The entry fee was $500. That means more than $57,000 was collected in one fight alone.
And that's just for the entries. That doesn't include side betting, that doesn't include the rental of the cock houses, and that doesn't include the entry fees for people coming in to be spectators.
There's even a concession stand. It's estimated more than $1 million was funneled through here this one fighting season alone.
This is a really lucrative operation.
A federal affidavit identifies 49-year-old Stephen Brewer as the pit owner.
You've been named in federal documents as running an illegal cockfighting operation in Citronelle. How have you been able to keep this operation going for so many years?
Brewer said nothing to us after he was questioned at the FBI office in Mobile.
Any comment?
In 2011, when we first exposed this pit, the Mobile County Sheriff's Office said it would shut it down. Spokesperson Lori Miles says weak state laws make enforcement a real challenge.
To send several deputies, several vehicles, then we have to take the animals, we have to provide care for the animals, and it costs us more to shut the place down.
The maximum penalty in Alabama is just $50, but the feds can now slap a $100,000 fine on you just for watching a cockfight. Add another $150,000 and up to 3 years in prison if you bring a child. Some call this blood sport entertainment. Most call it cruelty.
It is torture. I mean, it's the injuries they sustain are horrific.
The affidavit also noted that the nonprofit group, the Alabama Game Fowl Breeders Association, was not only present at fights, but also while there, representatives even asked for donations and bragged about being able to lobby state lawmakers and persuade them not to make cockfighting laws tougher. Andrea Ramey, Local 15 News.
Tonight, a Local 15 News exclusive.
This video shows Mobile Infirmary security guards, one an off-duty Mobile police officer, wheeling what appears to be an unconscious patient off hospital property on a cold night.
That patient later died, and the hospital is being blamed for the 24-year-old's death. This is video the public has never seen before because a judge ordered it sealed.
Local 15's Andrea Ramey was in court today when that video was played. Andrea?
Well, Greg and Kim, for 3 years, this very critical piece of evidence was not shown to the public for fear that it could influence potential jurors. But today, a jury was seated in this civil case against Mobile Infirmary, and jurors were able to judge it for themselves. Surveillance video that until today has never been played in public shows two Mobile Infirmary hospital security officers, Sean Poff and off-duty Mobile Police Sergeant Jerry Ripple, pick up 24-year-old Luwan Johnson, who is laying on the ground by the doors to the ER, and place him in a wheelchair. Another camera angle shows the guards wheeling him off the property and leaving him on the ground.
You actually see him pick up his wheelchair and dump him out. He's laid out there for 4 hours. I think it's horrific.
Johnson arrived at Mobile Infirmary on March 5th, 2013 by ambulance, wearing only a thin blue t-shirt, pajama pants, and no shoes. The temperature that night, attorney Vince Kilborn says, dipped into the low 40s, and Johnson became hypothermic. Johnson later died March 18th.
The whole thing's disgusting, frankly.
Mobile Infirmary admits Ripple and Puff made a bad decision wheeling him off the property and should have contacted a supervisor, but argue their actions did not kill Johnson. Attorney Norman Waldrop argued Johnson died from complications due to AIDS. Waldrop says Johnson was removed because he became combative in the ER and shoved staff.
Would he still be alive today had he not been wheeled
Sure,
off the
he
property?
would be. He'd be taking his meds and he'd live a long, happy life.
Now, there's actually no video evidence of how Johnson was acting in the ER. Mobile Infirmary says it's illegal to record and keep video in the ER. This trial is expected to last at least 2 weeks, with more than a dozen witnesses testifying about Johnson's health. Reporting live at the courthouse, Andrea Ramey, Local 15 News. All right, thank you. Tonight, I talked exclusively to the gunman's grandfather and got some insight into the mental state of Matthew Richardson before he shot a police officer this morning.
Was kicking stuff and tearing up stuff in the house.
27-year-old Matthew Richardson was acting erratically this morning, his grandfather says, when they called 911 for help.
This officer, she was so sweet, and she said, we're going to try to settle him down.
But Officer Jackie Tucker didn't get the chance.
I saw a gun come out the door and start shooting.
79-year-old Alton Richardson says his grandson came out firing.
We're going to let him shoot me first if he's going to shoot anybody. Just to get there in time.
It certainly wasn't the first time police have been called to the home. Neighbors say it's quite routine. His grandfather says Richardson was so mentally unstable at age 21 he was put on Social Security disability. Richardson also had an affinity for guns, posting numerous videos of himself shooting on social media. His grandfather says he passed a background check 7 months ago and bought an assault rifle. A tipping point, his grandfather says, 1 week ago the psychiatrist took Richardson off his medicine, though he says they pleaded with her not to.
I knew these police was going to kill him sooner or later. Of course, I can't fault them.
Well, Richardson also threatened police officers on his Facebook account, saying, quote, kill all the cops you can, and, quote, put a bullet to their head. Neighbors say last night he was firing shots in the